Good morning. We start with Lama Tsongkhapa Guru Yoga from the small booklet. From the heart of the Savior of 100 deities of Tushita, on a peak of cloud resembling a clam of extremely white fresh curd, King of Dharma, omniscient Losandrapa, please come here together with your sons. In the sky before me on a lion throne, lotus and moon, my perfect pure Guru smiles with delight. Supreme field of merit for my mind of faith, please abide for 100 yawns to spread the teachings. Your holy mind has the intelligence that understands the full extent of objects to be known. Your holy speech with its excellent explanations is an ear ornament for those of good fortune. Your holy body is radiantly beautiful with glory renowned. To you who are meaningful to see, hear, and remember, I prostrate. Pleasing drinking water, various flowers, fragrant incenses, lice, scented waters, and so forth. Oceans of cloud-like offerings, both actually arranged and mentally emanated, I offer to you the supreme field of merit. Whatever non-virtue of body, speech, and mind, especially those opposite to the three vows that I have collected from beginningless time, I confess each and every one with fervent regret from my heart. You strove for much learning and practice in this degenerate age, and made your freedoms and richnesses meaningful by abandoning the eight worldly concerns. Saviour, we sincerely rejoice in your extensive deeds. Perfect pure holy Gurus from the billowing clouds of wisdom and compassion in the sky of the Dharmakaya, please let fall a rain of profound and extensive Dharma upon the receptacle of those to be subdued exactly as they need. May whatever virtue I have collected benefit the teachings and all transmigratory beings, and in particular may it cause the essence of perfect pure Losandrapa's teachings to shine forever. Sajibaki Chushi Metok Dram Irablinshi Nidegempadi Sangeshindu Miteowa Idrokunamdak Shinlai Chuparshu. By the merits of having offered this mandala to Lama Tsongkhapa and his two sons, may I, my family members, and all sentient beings be able to meet, practice, and actualize the teachings of the victorious one Losandrapa, who had the morality of an eminently pure way of life, was courageous in the extensive conduct of the sons of the victorious ones, and accomplished the yoga of the two stages of supreme bliss and emptiness. Idam Guru Ratna Mandalakam Niryatayami. By the force of having fervently requested in this way, hollow beams of white light are emitted from the hearts of the perfect pure Father and Sons, and combining into one enter my crown. White nectar, the color of milk, flows from the opening of the tube of white light, cleansing all my sicknesses, spirit harms, negative karmas, obscurations, and their imprints without exception. My body becomes as pure and clear as crystal. Now we recite 5-line Miktsema 3 times. Mikme tsewe terchen chen rezik, drime gyempe wampo jampe liang, dupo malu jonze sangwe dak, ganchen kepe tsungen tsongkapa, losan drape shabla solwade. Mikme tsewe terchen chen rezik, Dreamer Gyampe Wampo Jampe Liang Dupo Malu Jonze Sangwedak Ganchen Kepe Tsungen Tsongkapa Losan Drape Shabla Solwade Mikme Tsewe Terchen Chen Rezik Dreamer Gyampe Wampo Jampe Liang Dupo malu jonze sanwedak, ganchen kepe tsungen tsongkapa, losan drape shabla solwade.
la chanchu pardu dani japsun chi dagi chushi ye bonda dag dralam beje sanjin drubar sho sanje chudang sojin chonum la chanchu pardu dani japsun chi dagi chushi ye bonda dagi dralam beje sanjin drubar sho sanje chudang sojin chonum la chanchu pardu dani japsun dāgi chūshē jē bāndā dāgi rōlāṃ bē sāñjīn rū bārā shō kāngi tūzī nī sōni tāwā tōngshē pāmbī charā tāmbī chūn dēnzē kōdam tēlā chāng zē lō shīshīn kiongkōn chāwē lō rū tu kēsān nā wē jēn chū lē shī sū tāwē pē chā lā mē zē wē tōndē tēmbē tōndēn lā chāng tsā nā mō lā yē kē tō lō tā nō shē kē tē pōng tā nā mē yē kē nō tā rō wā kūñ jī rā nō shī sā tam chē kē tō dāgi chū dēn tō. Good morning, everyone. Shokotele. Tutela. Kote.
Shokotele again.
Yeah. 먼저 남기 때 chance sa pasante la chewa language chance chewa kare yana taro chisra. Ngan ki shen gotsu.
So, as usual, during Friday sessions, we take questions and discuss on that. So, whatever questions you have, you can ask.
No.
Good morning, Geshe. Could you talk a little bit about the 8 worldly dharmas, what they are, and how you can avoid spending your whole life doing the 8 worldly dharmas?
The jigden choji kain ben wotre da ni jigden choji bang tang kan de yime te kwa chik son nas.
Plus. Ada? You have? No. You have questions? No.
Hello, Geshe. It's not really a question, but I would love if you could speak a little bit more about the 2 truths.
The device in the Dembani Korla, this motivation now.
알았어. 제가 가르다는 게 있더라.
So you can ask any question today. It's
저 맨날 가르치는 용이 삼수도 시에서는 되게 됐어.
yes.
이 가르치
If you do not have any specific questions, you can also share why you participate today's session and so on and so forth. It doesn't have to be a specific question then.
야,
I have so many questions, but I'll limit them to just one. I was reading Geshe. So a lot of times I have problems in my life, and my mind sees them negatively. And I was reading in a Buddhist book that you can slowly turn the mind around. That problems become the book said the problems become enjoyable. So then when someone's like doing this special type of training, mind training, they encounter a problem, and then they're actually like, yeah, this is good. I like this. So I just wonder if Geshe could talk about this. It sounds a little bit wacky, but also quite amazing, and also seems somewhat possible.
Chivati dirishike, ta Quran ta mijinalo la tsamre ta kangi dinde chikdu sura. Kangi di tongni che chidu la, ani tep tamara mambu tagi yes. Ani nangchu ta tewa yuki tep dinde lobe kapsu, ani kangi tewa ina. Ani kangi di ta dokcho ni matawa chini, ani jengi toksha tari yure yures. Ta kangi ko tangnei che ro chiyora tari yures lan chikshikdus. Yani chojin samtana di hansayagi ta samlo tangtang yabu shikdo tongdusra. Ya chojin samtana di ta kangi tewa ina, kangi di ta kuni dedewi soptaro dendro samlo shiligdusra. Chizan jengi tokcha chidan kola de songro nangsi.
단다 덴바니 로 덴바니 드다 다 케시시 덴바니게 내든 토라 상다인데 로 넘버 산지비기 다직주 토니 시에나다 우빈닐루 우유니츠 토니 시에나 아니 덴바니게 남자티 다 케시무 쇼시 차여레스라
Um, so from Buddhist point of view, the concept of true truth is really crucial and important.
덴바니게 남자라야 몸비 왕기 데니 chakdaan nimu sayada kiega warasitara. Denpa nilula ya mamu na chakdaan shuk chenpo ti ta yungu yo mares. Ro denpa nilula mung di mungpa ti wangi ta ani chakdaan shuk chenpo kiya. Ani ta chik chakpa ta dangwa sila wangi rangsho la ya chak, zhensho la ya dangwa. Ani tini tanji chiwa tangbo ka pena ta chik ani jikdenbi chu ge sayadi 안치 용약이 싸워도디 덴바니기 남살아야 몸비왕기 타르투나 덴바니기 내룰아야 몸비왕기다 연구여봐 든지지 못해 열어서라
So it is really important to understand and to learn about true truths and um, many of the problems and many of the afflictive emotions arises due to not knowing the notion of true truths. And because of not knowing about true truth, again, we kind of become attached to someone whom we close to, and feeling aversion towards those whom we don't like, and so on and so forth. So meaning all the afflictive emotions arises due to not knowing the concept of true truth. And then all the 8 worldly dharmas, 8 worldly concerns also arises due to not knowing the true truths.
아니 다 대만이 남자디 콘도 중인데다 산지 좀 된디 콘렌다스라 산지 좀 된디 대만이 콘 추니 마지 두절을 추 때원디야 두절이다 추다 랍샤갸원디야 랑두르네 때원디 조 대만이 송야티 디나네다 된담 덴바 된담이 덴바 다 된담비 덴바 디 비기 치마 체제 시야라야 아니 군즈비 덴바스는다 타니도 요술디 아니 남자디 샤마투바이나 데니 된담 덴비 남자디 싸우니디 샤마투 네다 디 지기 토네 데니다 다 덴바니 거라 간지 덴바니 거디 아니 망슈 직송요레스 송 저담 보드갸라지 요레 안조다 제 요바지 산지 좀 된디 송레 슬라야기 만중 오니 자에 요야티 송포드 갸라지오레스 티나네 만슈디 아니 데니 콜야 덴바니 콜야 드 송요레스라
So Buddha first realized about true truth, and then later, after attaining enlightenment, when he started to give Dharma discourses, he also taught about the true truths, and mostly he taught about the ultimate truth. And in order to perfectly understand ultimate truth, understanding of the conventional truth is also important. So, meaning if we understand the concept of conventional truth, it will help us to deepen our understanding of the ultimate truth. So not only that, all the Buddha's teachings and his words were recorded and preserved. There are more than 100 volumes of Buddha's word. So if you kind of explore and read all of them, you will find that most of his teachings were in fact about true truths.
다 좀 된디 진주기 야가르 키비 옹보도스 좀 된디 다 진주 나니다 키비 옹보 다 남준 된다 뜻하딩이 지야 찍딩 공부를 찍어 왔으라 공부를 기야 아니 가서다 베기 시사마주는다 베기 리버 딤니 파 아니 믹스카니 아니 땡라 파게디 데니 남자들이었어 체키체슈드 데마니 남자들이 시진드니 오마자와 셰로사지 오마릭소투 오마리비소투세 라데니 남자 땡라 파비 지 아니 리바 양다 다 균센 양다 토니 아니 덴바니세 니루티 송요로스
Then later, many Indian scholars, commentators also wrote extensively about the Buddha's words, and among them, Nagarjuna is considered as one of the finest scholars. And he also wrote extensively about the concept of true truth. For instance, he wrote 6 major works on middle way philosophy, Madhyamaka philosophy, and all of these 6 words were the content of all these 6 works are about true truth.
공부르기 진주 레베 아얀데와 박발라 공기야 조 툭대서디 데머니 코르데스 다디 진주 반데 다와 트라바 안 레베 산지 자마 소다 원네 타네기다 잠발린데 나라야 다 케바 남주치 콘도 차거다 저 콘주기 따지 로니동 다아 공리 로니동 공리 다 콘주 송샤비기 링람 남샤티 단다 로니동 뉴스자직 기 애는 케바주 다운디 다 이원 초기였다 자원이 디직 아니 즉 들어 당분이 버기 깨져리 때티 대상 공고여 말세서 파샤신 하장 그 공고여 대봐 하장 그 이원 초대비 아니 까뮤디 뎀바니 토니 송샤이 리차고라스라
And then many other followers or students of disciples of Nagarjuna, including Aryadeva, his primary disciple. He also wrote extensively about true truth. And then later, Chandakriti and Buddhapalita, they also wrote extensively about and further disseminate the teachings on true truth. So what they wrote about many years ago still remains relevant in this 21st century. So when the wise, or rather scholars of this century, when they explore these teachings, they find it still relevant in this day and age.
다 야갈 케비기 니 케버 쪽다 제스 중에 기때 벽 간전 중에야 케버 망부 페어레스 그러 로 죽기 공라야 페어제비다 아니 장고랑 정가와 첨부 아니 공기 송포도 접기야 디나다지 망슈디 데니 콜레스 아니 따빌렉시 첨부 가슬라운디 됐다 로 따빌렉시 첨부 가요다 데디츠 실을 샤사디 피기게 반덴 다와타벤 제샤비 오만주바 데니 남샤 텔라평이 오만주바 안디 텐직 아니 제 콘도서 데니 산지장게 데니 오마 츠슬세 아니 레벤 파발라가 오마 시게바 데남지 자와디 아니 리소트 디나니 자와시런 고물르드 제샤 오 드츠 마타지 맹아 드즈는 뭐 균샤지 차거레스 딘즈다 니 쇼도소 케바도소다 랍과 가스나 가서 딘디지기 송도소 톨라야 아니 대사다 인지 톨라 뭐 기르여 반자 라 디톨라 데스 롭존 체투바이나 오늘 잔네 기더니 다 약부쇼치 라 다지 수수라니 미진 바인자 미 남주 조아시 톤롤이 캐버드 파비 미 남주 여바 배주 땅사기 직 네도디 아니 뎀바니 차고레스
And then later in Tibet, the great scholar Lama Tsongkhapa, he also wrote extensively about True Truth. He has around 18 volumes of writings, and within that, most of his writings were in fact about true truth. Popularly, they are known as the five major works of Lama Tsongkhapa on view. All of them commented on the concept of true truth, which it traces back to the explanations were based on other previous Indian scholars, such as Nagarjuna's fundamental wisdom or 400 verses by Arideva and so on and so forth. So the reason I am mentioning all of this text is to encourage you to read and study those texts. And many of these texts are now available in English translation.
The dire, tinza, nganzo pegyu nandingi jinjugba tsogata, zo chik ta densa sente gesamgi, ani tawa tsogi, kepa digi digi song di lo la sim, ngato la sim, an di je ma chu, an di pigi deshi shu, peti shu, an di thala ya rolling che, zeba tse, ani chesam triko na ti, ani ikse tango na tang, teni di tola samlo tang, an di tenla pabjabi, ta chik denpa nyi namsha di tola ya gom gyab, ta dus royo ban zang, ani chik pyoge nanden di tanda, ani kera chenpu chaya zo di tereshas. Di mato, chidan nambi chuyo kasa kala tariyo, ta di ngoyo desor ta, ani chik shashoga gyakab royo na maan chayla ya nangcho tariyo dayna ya, chik pyoge ani pebi gonde kagi, ani tawa tsoge, ani nangcho la ya lobzhong cheda nangshinji, ani yo marwas. Ngar gyaga pabi yo la ya, ani nalenda la ya, ta ngoni tindigi lomnye chigiyo sari mato, nalenda re, ta mbikama la shila, Indonesia chola ya, tensan yo marwas ra. Pepo mato la yo mato, tindi lobzhong shukchimu chingi.
So all of these major texts are studied in the monastic institute in Tibet. So the monk scholars first memorize the root text and then receive teachings on this text and then debate about it, then give exams about their understanding, and then finally meditated about the meaning of this text. So we go through a very rigorous study of this text, and that is why the the scholarship in Tibet remains very vibrant and alive due to this refined process of studying and meditation. And if you look in the world, Buddhism is practiced and flourished in many countries, particularly in Asia. In ancient India, if you look at, there is Nalanda, there is Vikramshila, and so on and so forth. And their tradition also later flourished in many other countries. But it was now only kind of preserved in Tibet. The tradition of rigorous studies can be only found in Tibet. Therefore, that might be the reason why Tibetan kind of Buddhism is still very alive.
Lo dune tawa manche tawa chuk shakar sara, lo dune gene tawa chuk, teni yigilap, teni bigi tsawa taso tang, ani lo la sim chuk, gyug len gegen taso, 다 죽제마드는 되니 팅아 라 팅아 다 쇼깅하고 랑주 공다 치우 니주 쇼기 로르심자도 공다 껴주 또두 제진 아니 로종 제주여라서라
So if you look at the Tibetan tradition, the young boys, when they were around 7 or 8, they were immediately enrolled in the monastic institute when they were at the tender age of 7 or 8. And then they have to memorize the root text, go through all the trainings, get up very early in the morning, start memorizing them, and then you have to give test on whatever you have memorized. And if you fail to kind of memorize, then you may get a whack from your teacher. And then late in the evening, you have to recite again what you have memorized. So we have to go through this training.
다도 진짜 달로 뉴스를 하길래야 다 깔리 세미겨라서 아니 도스는 달로 좀 체진 달로 좀 태운 거자 당원인 잠블링이 지속 난시지는 저와는 딱 아니 딘디기 로좀 텐서비 제라 다 리메 체니시에 투야지다 다 난선 통솔라 야라 댕이 돌아와 자와나 네수카리는 통솔라 디톨라 상로지 땅와나 난선 통솔라 야지 리메 체니시에 투야지다 자와니 매교소르지 소수 깔리 잡단 그런 바다라 상당와나 디 내든 간시바 디 추즈직 시고 존나야 로동자 몽고 랭고야 산성소르지 레사레스
Then we almost spent more than 20 years to complete our training and studies, to graduate from them. And then after um, many years of hardship and training, and later we completed our studies and training. And then now, from a very mundane kind of point of view, the knowledge that we have gained through multiple years of hardship and training is so precious. And then, from modern point of view, even if you were to give a 1 hour lecture about truth, giving giving the effort and the hardship that you have put on, it may deserve more than $1,000, given the effort and the hardship that you have put on the knowledge.
다 임바이나야 또 샤온디 데니 직딘 추기기 삼로들야 지 피 데니기 네 출디 레야 로콩원디 아니 직딘 추기기 삼로들야 다치 라오메바 고념 제자가 반상 아니 지 소수 강 심바디 개침부 네츠야부 가리 펜도여바 강 심바디 미치글라 방고트 제라바이나야 즉 소소 수이 개변 토라 성우 싸우니 매봐 아니 펜동 바시기 토는 시에투야디 아니 로디 뎀바니라야 템비 로디 뎀바니라야 테투바인자 녜섬나 디레스 나르라고 말다 게게 mambu 쇼지 게시 라마 mambu 쇼지게 파쇼 말아야 펜지 토바이나 안 뒤서 가져 땅고 줬나야 소수 신잡이 내든 가리 여바디 파 제발라 가시 트로징은 제투고레스
So, given the fact that we put a lot of effort and hardship over many years, and then completed our studies. But the reason why many of the Buddhist teachers who are willing to share their wisdom um, undefiled by eight worldly dharmas is due to their familiarity with the concept of true truth. So along with our training, we get too used to the concept of true truths. And because of that, the um, you know the thinking of advantage for oneself is not there. So even if you could share your wisdom, share your knowledge only to one person, the Buddhist teachers will happily do so. So I'm not talking about myself, but there are many other erudite, qualified Buddhist teachers. So the for the benefit of others, they would they would happily dedicate their time and effort to share whatever they have learned.
아니 디 나로야 기긴도서 미지 간살이야 디나 데지 롭존 튼스 참마 튼사디 게긴기 레가신 아니 게긴도서게 아니 니마치글이야 진짜 나툭 듄 틴딜이야 아니 롭디 치고레스 라 진짜젤이야 추즈치 락락 땅치니 쇼기 추즈 듄다 체가는 고츠니 gonda 추즈다 죽었던 바 파트 가시 개바고바 튀겨야겠어 티 로니 로든 튀겨야겠어 텔라샤 세디 까마칸요 말했어 딘디기 칼레기아네 밀라야 펜도칭인디 댄사도지 잠발리 칸라야 사마르 삼성도지 피기 네저 놈 지 통바이나 더 이왕 쳐바지 얌sem부 딘디요레스라 가자가서 딘 살로 정라다 딘일레르와 게긴도즈 니스 단데 상담한데 오늘 잔이 항상 딘디요레스
And if we take Sera Monastery as an example, here there are more than around 4,000 to 5,000 monk students here, and there are also many teachers who give teachings for this student. So the teachers here, they give around mostly take 5 to 7 sessions per day, and each sessions will take around 1 hour. So most of them, their classes start as early as 7:30 in the morning and go on. And some of them they teach until 5, 6. Some of them they even goes on to teach till 8 p.m. So the reason, and not only that, they are not taking these long session classes only for one day or 2 day, but they are continuing this for years to years. So and all these teachers do not take any kind of salary or honorarium. They happily, joyfully kind of teach to the students for the benefit of to nurture the student. So if you closely look in this situation, you will find that it's an amazing tradition. The wisdom that you learned, you share it free of cost, right? Without any concern about the other mundane things. So you would definitely find it inspiring.
페나 니 겐 디자니 nge gen zane lo nyushul has pedi shiba yins ro gen la ka khuje nga pha gen la phya ka khuj mes ranga phen ge phe lomba sha chini gyaga la ya chigdong gu ye ge khabden lo le bi khabdu la kap tong ba chi ro kambali chi te ma ta nga la ka khi mes ine lo nyushul has la ya nga la peja thik sons ta ngi peja te ngi te shing ba na gegen la di ma do go mu das ta tani shu tuk ni ro das ra tirda gedu di yabu shawa na di ma do konzo la lasha khain go go mares di ma do khain go go marta ta tini gedu di che tu kazu kale jago chona ani pet gashin trojing to ta di yabu chasu ta di mi mambu chila pen to gore samya ani gawa gomchi tindi yores tara tasa ni sulti
So, for instance, in my own case, my teacher taught me more than 20 years since I first joined the monastery. So, when I first reached the monastery, all I have is a cup and a blanket. That's all I got, nothing else. And I have nothing to offer to my teacher to receive the teachings. But regardless of this, he taught me more than 20 years and took care of me. So all they want is the student to study well so that later he or she could benefit others. So that's all they want. They do not expect any material thing, but rather they only expect the student to study well. So that's how the kind of monastic students are trained and nurtured in the monastic environment.
nga refugee ra I came to from Tibet to India refugee no passport no money nothing just one empty cup ra one empty cup one blanket re ani ta gegen tu zung ter da ta dindi yongya di khares na demba ni nyamnen nang ba insa demba ni gi thola ya tani lobjong nani demba ni gi ne zu thong di lo de ja chen bu shu pe pusu to bu zaw ni ne me ba 직 소소슬라운디 비기 미치그리 아니 타입이 심진슬라운디 야첨부 디기 내든 돌아야 아니 로제케토 와치 다 디치글레 온디테니 아니 직된 취게다 다가스 제무제스 소리 소샤다 콘솔 직된 취게디 제무제스 소리 당한수 레 당보 와질이야 직된 취게 빠야 깔레 가고 쉬어요라다
So the reasons why those teachers, they are so dedicated, they are so compassionate, is due to their realization and practice of true truth. So by the practice of true truth, kind of their perspective, their way of thinking becomes extremely wide. And because of that, they remain completely undefiled by any kind of worldly concerns. So through the understanding and realization of true truth, they could understand, they could see the importance of others in comparison to oneself. When we are talking about oneself, we are talking about one single individual, but others are countless. In this regard, others are more precious than oneself. So, as for beginners, it's really difficult to ignore the eight worldly concerns. But for such realized masters, for them, they don't care anything about the eight worldly concerns.
nganzu pangma tuya thi sem gu soja warasra nganzu sem gu soja warada kaisana chagdang gi loy soja warasra rang la chagba shukchimbo yondi ani chi 통야 소리야 고야 가리 랑마도 통구요 말다 통구요 말았으라 아니 지금 랑디야 비기기 수칸라야 뜨바 메바 아니 지 라완도 트바지 랑디 셴라야 뜨바 메바 라완도 트바다 비기 아니 나완다 단 짐바 디디기 디왕기 아니 랑라 차바 아니 셴라 다위 로티 로 딘지 지기 샤완도 손체네 아니 직된 취에 나를 추대바지 그 남아 산지비 따따죽도 디레스 딘지레스
So the reason why we are not able to eliminate that eight worldly concerns are due to the afflictive emotions such as attachment and aversion. So whatever we see, whatever we feel, we just kind of become obsessed or rather extremely attached to oneself. And we tend to feel that uh, we are not dependent on others. So because of that thinking that we are not dependent on others, we become extremely attached to oneself and kind of tend to ignore others or feeling kind of indifferent or feeling hatred to others. So because of that, this again fuels the eight worldly concerns.
디 단다 게실란 담비 로존 쓰기면 타타더라 직제 타마더라 대양 직딘 취기기 똑비 팀이 마바바지 제거레스 덴지 마바와 제 탑디야 아니 추군 규마시비 롤때니 아니 직 아니 신빈 칭원들이 잘 거래서 라 도도전에 딘지 송어라서라
Yes. So if you look at if you read the 8 verses of mind training written by Geshe Langri, the final verse reads, may all this remain undefiled by the stains of the 8 mundane concerns, 8 worldly concerns, and may I, recognizing all things as illusion, devoid of clinging, be released from bondage.
다 간르지 레스 라운디 다 뎀바니 세나 카르 레스 라운디 nganzugi 다지 미기 통대야 다지 간지 아니 zudradur reja 간지 최 탐제로 최 탐제티 라야 아니 내출 찍당 난출 찍이 차니 연구요레스 당한주 남기디 상당 거 말아 그 내수 가르래 권항서 간주 나만 난신기 된라야 내기도 문도 상도 뒤딴 거 말았으라 디 nganzula nangsu zidang nizu gu cha ni yobanza tela denpa ni se gores ta. Denpa ni sen deres. Ta di yin ji tu goya ta hachang kishin bu cha gor ta.
So whatever things that we see, that we hear, whatever that we engage with, all of them, they have two aspects: the way they appear to us and the way they truly exist. So usually we don't distinguish between these two. We tend to assume that things exist as it appears to us. But things do not exist as it appears to us. So the demarcation between how things appear to us and how things truly exist is about the true truth. So essentially, true truth is all about how the demarcation between how things appear to us and how things truly exist.
tela denpa ni se ta. Piki nangma chi yoba tiang denpa ra ta. Nganzu tonggo ra ta, nyonggo ra ta. Ina ya di netsul diya, che wang di netsul di, neluk di, rangwaan tu chume ba tiang, denpa res. Denpa denjang re ti. Lo namju chingi, kiwu tsusu ki, rangwaan tu chume ba di, ngonsum tu tonggo ya res. Tinsa ta denpa nyi se di, netsul diya denpa re, nangsul diya denpa res. Tisungo ra tar.
So when we talk about the true truth, the first one is the conventional truth, or the way things appear to us. So the way things appear to us is also kind of true in its own respect. And then the way things exist is also true in its own kind of way. Therefore, therefore we have two truths.
Ta, no, sorry, yeah. Okay. Yeah, no problem. I like discuss.
It's been a while since I was here, but do you mean like how things really, the different forms of reality, like how we, like our reality isn't reality because we've got ego, we've got attachment, is that what you mean by? Is that a question? I don't think that's a question. Or is that what you mean?
We need translator. We ask to him. Kalas, kosa.
I would really appreciate if you could repeat one more time.
So do you mean like the two truths are reality and how things, the reality that doesn't involve ego?
Okay.
Well,
Tapiti-
is that what you mean? Is that what the two truths? Or I forget what the two truths. But is that what
Re- Tanda ta dembanyi lawe kapsula chik kona chik reski. Chitanda chik reality se netang rawo chik niyo bache. Nena chik di ko ta ego sena ko rang ching di sewre dangzi sewre. Teni ki toni pa tatang chik che. Ani nipa di ta tuandam demba chagirwa. Ani ego mebe toni tatang chora. Teni rawo chik ngunzi chena digirwasi. Ta rikchi pina nganzu semna ta ego di yosu na gen yang ko pagila to ko tongdang re chi samlo tanda pa loga chorwa. Tandi ego di mesu na yang ko tadang loga chorwa, ten robchi.
Reda, jadani, tadari nganzu denpa nyingi tola keje sheba rawasi. Keje sheba re, keje she ondi ga, 덴바니 톨이야 깨제 셰샤비기 따지 피기 따지 롭덥다 마스는 망부치 태는 것도 아스라 먼저 대응 거를 세워라 다 디테스 지 로니 상로 땅에 개침을 해도스라 당분 다 디디지 인사에서 탁진도 파샤 마샤와치 탁제디 개체래면도다 탁제디 개체래면도 냠십제디 개체래도스라 탁 맞제와치 니지 그냥 레이캡 데레스 그냥 딩스레 슬랍치 대바 샤샤와이나 아니 랑기 셈레야 펜도 용야디 페시 메아우르지 니 섬드딘디레샤스
Yes. So, through these discussions, for instance, today our discussion is merely mostly about truth. So, through these, this discussion should serve as a seed to further deepen our understanding. So, instead of me explaining about this is it, this is the true truth, I would really highly recommend first to explore and read the books which I recommend, which I mentioned, and then kind of based on this, we should also deepen our reflect more. So instead of today immediately, decide, okay, this is the truth. This should be the beginning of our exploration on two truths.
제 지상 단 난수고 돌아게 지시온디 난술 지당 니술 지 니여레슬라온디 난수고 돌아게 시온디 되니 아니 지 간주 남지 지 타니에 따데 수다투르 레자스 용수 써버디 난수 코랑 토니 셰데바시 니수고 토니 게치디 용고요 말레스 pena gyula teni ene debikiyo ba sabel teni nyugu kigres ra shingata ba na loto kigres ya tizu samlo ane nansul kejajires nansul kejajires ta ta duzu pena sabel teni nyugu kigres laundi nyugu keba de sabel temba di ta sebu shu chaga dasara 디 찌들이야 아니 지 내수 칸임바 디기 토라 아니 상우당원디 펜도 용액이 식nen가 친구 쇼지 텐사르스다 뉴쿠드 사변을 때니 끼기를 했을라온디
So, when we talk about true truth, basically we're talking about how things appear to us and how things truly exist. The perception and the reality of things. So usually the way we associate with the way we engage with the world through our visual, through what we see, through what we hear, through how we kind of feel, and so on and so forth. Most of these are primarily based on our perception. For instance, when we say that, if you plant a seed, the sprout might come out. So these kind of causal principle is based on the way it appears to us. So this is based on how it appears to us.
라 뉴구디 사변을 때니 끼바를 했을라온디 뉴구 요속 토라 다지테 사바레스다 뉴구디 사변을 때니 종아레슬라온디 뉴구 라완드 메바디 뉴구 라완드 메바디 love sabartara ta nyugu round yo marisla di nyugu yo ni yorada pigi saban teni kewara ta yosul de kharisla wandi ten yobare mato rawand mebares laundi kug nilu di she sawares teji ondi ta pigi ani konang nyugu inaya nilu chani yunguresra.
Yes. So when we say the sprout is dependent on the seed, um, basically it gives us a hint about the way sprout exist. When we say the sprout comes from the seed, it entails that it cannot exist, it cannot come about without depending on its seed. So the sprout, of course, the sprout exists. We can't deny its existence, but the way it exists is dependent on other causes and conditions. The sprout do not have any inherent existence. It cannot exist by itself. It cannot exist without depending on others.
십사보다 만들어둔다. 다 뉴굿디 추진식이라 왔더라. 시직다 뉴굿디라. 근데 디참 로라야 링데 땅이었어. 조 링데 땅 거사디 땅가 셋 소소소래 nga 셋들이야. nga디야 라완도 요마르다. 때는 좋아인자. 때는 좋아요르다. 라. 다 아니 님 풍부 셋이야. 다가랑 라운드 트비오 말했어. 다 딘지기 상당원디 받zen 상당원디 데니지 착신 제고사제당 당원기 고사기 지 차만님비기 율슈 진 통대야지 자와 니네 뭐유 네출이야 매바지 통과했더라. 장난 나더라. 지금 주의 두스 나더고다. 두스
So the sprout, how it is dependent on its seed, it's just an example. It is an easy example to fathom about the true truth. So after understanding this concept on the sprout in relation to its seed, we have to apply this understanding to others. And primarily, we have to apply this to self. How we think the self exists and how the self exists in actuality. So when you realize that self do not have any independent existence, self exists in dependence on others, in relation to others, then by realizing self exists in dependence on others, our kind of the afflictive emotions also decreases. When you realize that self is dependent on others, self do not exist by itself. We can't exist without depending on others. Then our sense of hatred and strong attachment will automatically reduced because we are, because of seeing the truth, and through these, the eight worldly dharmas, eight worldly concerns also kind of reduce.
그래 두스니다 아니 땅아 라운드 트메바티 조 땅아 나드 문제 치고도서라 나드 문제 치는 나드 체가 도니 라 수수 남기 셈나라야지 나를 내고도 나 야고 용고도 나 기부면 땅아나 세대저다 디파 지 아니 를 대체니 디파 제주 지기면나 소 셴바도지 아니 마기바다 지 아니 지겨라 다지 착신체 대다 당섬께 대야지 소식 잡아줘라 또저 파지샤네 아니 알다모 디께봐 봉아 디 가위에 돌아야 상무지 땅바이나 대마 타도 로 아니 샘들 회식식 줘야지 캐시야다 뭐 용거서라지
So the more we think about self, and the more we think about how self exists by depending on other causes and conditions, um, it will help us to kind of help us to reduce the self-grasping, strong attachment to self. And usually we all want kind of happiness. We all want many good things for oneself. And because of that, we tend to put self before everything else. But the moment we try to engage or try to delve deeper into the reality of the self, how self exists, and the moment we realize self exists only in relative to others, only in dependence to others, only through others, then it will somehow make our mind more calm and composed.
그래다 디소르다 라니 진제 고복군기고 마늘 진제 연den군기 시세디 덴반 통투야지 다디 덴반 통야 매바 해나다 단 원이 산지 위치어디다 다 주마레 다 다가스 미카케 오지 시에샤교 다디 라트야지 메나다 다가스 시에샤기 차거스 다디 라트야 여다 메디 다 균세 리글람 고토니 상무다니 덴라 파고 거레스 nga rawang du yod me ani nga rawang du yod me nga dewi nga kiwo me nga samsam sem chugu du se nga di ngunzen chin zugu sa chi yo bai na zen zugu sa chi ra bai na ta teni 단지 ngelawana zumare ta di marani ta kanzam jila yamzen ki etdi mi mambole yungoras ta yamzen ki teni ji 단지 초 대두 아니 숙침비 왕기 지 초위지 로션이 마기 받아 지 용대 디 땡데 라고 왔어요. 땡데 야시자다 말라고 왔어요.
So there is a very powerful prayer which says that the self-grasping mind is door to all downfalls, and cherishing of other is the source of all goodness, all good qualities. So this is the very foundation of the teaching. And the more you reflect and think about the concept of truth, this prayer becomes more relevant. And when we say, I want happiness, I want this and that, and then through this, when you delve deeper into the nature of the self, whether the self who wants happiness, whether that self exists without it depending on other causes and conditions. So we find that the self do not have any independent existence.
다된 삼자 된 온도 쇼거다. nga tseni nga rawang du meba nga rawang du yobayna nga du sukhan ya madde bar ko rawang du yobayna pigin zugu sachi yogo gorada laba chansan roji yogo gorada ti me ondi ti tseni me ondi ta nga yo marse dengi richi ingores te non tu sho gorada nga yoda medi susu nyongi chugura tara yaku undi ani tso dewa nyungura susu tsewa dewa nyonga di susu nyongi chugura mado dari susu kiwu yoba di susu nyongi chugura mado me shenpa hako mara me shenpa tena ko kiwu yosara samay na ma kiwa shuchi dedengi dindi yungu yorasara dungar nyonga da dewa nyonga di rangi nyungura mado rangi nyongi chugura mado suchi ki hako marasara inza rangi nyongi chuba inza ani rangi nyongi chuki laya yo marasi laba ina tati tes chik tanda me gyosora chapta chik yorsara tirwata.
So when we kind of delve deeper into the nature of the self, and when you cannot pinpoint the self that you are referring to, when you cannot find a self that is not dependent on any other causes or conditions, then some people say that self do not exist at all. They completely deny the very existence of self. But there is also one extreme. We are not saying self do not exist at all. We're not denying that. We all know that self exists through our own experiences of pain, pleasure, happiness, and so on and so forth. There is a kind of experiencer of that. So we're not completely denying the very existence of the self, but we are more talking about the way self exists. Self do not exist without depending on other things.
Ishi dindi jinsar,
Yes.
yamba yos.
So, are there any other questions?
Mamushina nyogur dasra, dirga shana chik.
Yes. So, I think it's better to stop here because too much talking is might make this session boring.
Chanchu semcho rumpochi maji banum ki gyurchi kewa nyamba me baya kone kondu pewar sho. Enjoy lunch.